From the beginning, I had issues with Tesla, from their billing to even being able to get a hold of a customer service representative, many times hours on the phone, and every step through a process of trying to pay them and trying to get the panels moved to a new location has been an absolute nightmare. And I can't say that I would ever do business with Tesla again. It's been a problem from the very beginning. So we bought a house as an investment property that had Tesla solar panels. And when we took over the existing lease that the previous owner had, and it was purchased through a company called Solar City, which Tesla then bought out. And so since they took things over, it made things quite difficult when it came to trying to actually pay that solar lease. So every single month I would get the bill, and I would go online and I would pay it. And then my balance would never reflect the payment that would be made. So then in order to try and rectify it, you have to try and call Tesla's customer service. And every single time you call Tesla's customer service, it was minimum of an hour wait time to even talk to anybody. And then a lot of times you'd get connected and they would just try and transfer you to someone else, which would then be sometimes another hour. So, I mean, when you're trying to handle things during their hours of operation, like I have a job, so I can't just be away from my job for hours at a time, trying to deal with things that shouldn't be an issue. But anyway, so I would talk to the customer service representative and say, I made this payment on your online system and it's not showing, my invoice is not reflecting the payment. And they would look in the invoice and they said that, well, we can see it on our end. And I said, well, I'd like my invoice to reflect that. And they would email me an invoice, and then the invoice that they would email me would not be the same as the amount we spoke about on the phone, and it would also not match what it showed online. So there would be 3 different dollar amounts that were in question. This went on for 8 months straight. And their initial solution was, well, we're just going to turn off the ability for you to pay online. So you're just going to have to pay through the invoices. And I was like, well, I would like a correct invoice showing the dollar amount that you see and showing what I've paid. And that took another 4 or 5 months, and they still never got the invoices correct. And finally I told them, I said, I'm not paying you anything until I can get an invoice that shows what I've paid and what the actual dollar amount is. And, they were, threatening with, well, we know that there's an issue here. You were a Solar City customer, and our billing system doesn't match up with what we have here at Tesla now. I said, okay, well, I mean, this is a simple issue to fix. I said, anyone with QuickBooks could get a simple invoice figured out. I was like, you are a technology-based company and you can't figure out a simple invoice on something that's being like $50 a month, And it took months and months and months, and it still wasn't getting right. And finally, my wife and I, we just got fed up with trying to deal with it, trying to contact them every single month, and we just paid them off in full, with some money that we had in savings, because we were just tired of dealing with the customer service. So we thought, okay, well, now we don't have to worry about it. Tesla's kind of out of our life. Fast forward a couple of years, we decide we're going to sell this investment property, and we were happy with the product. The panels themselves were great, so we wanted to actually move them to our residence where we lived. And with the contract, that was fine, and you could do it, and you just had to pay like $500 up front, and then another $500 once the new designs and plans were approved. We started that process in early April this past year, and we were selling the property relatively quickly. As you know, the real estate market was pretty crazy, so we told them we needed them removed relatively quickly, which they did get them removed, but the company that they outsourced it to left all the bracketing onto the roof and basically made it so the homeowners association in the area was like not approving of the condition of what the roof looked like. So we had to have a company come back out, just days before closing, and take the hardware down. Well, when they took the hardware down and quote unquote patched it, and we had to have the roof inspected as part of the, as part of the real estate transaction. Well, when the roofing company came out and inspected it, it said that it did not meet industry standards for repair, which in the contract, it says that they have to, when they remove them, they patch the roof to industry standards. And I had a letter in writing, saying these do not meet industry standards. And we end up having to pay about another $2,500 for the roofing company to get it, because we were on a tight deadline, otherwise we would have lost the real estate transaction. And so, tried to talk to their customer service about that and got absolutely nowhere. They were basically just claiming that it was fixed to industry standards when, we had photographs, everything. It was not even close. It was a sloppy job. Move forward to getting the panels put on our new home. We waited months and months and months, and they said, well, the first install date that we can get you is going to be September. And this is, mind you, this is back in late April, early May. And we're like, September? They're like, yeah, we're really busy. We're booked that far out. And I'm like, okay, well, so we're missing out on an entire summer of having, your electric bill taken care of. They come out. I have an arrival window, and I had to have, I'd take a day off of work to make sure that, because you have to have someone here to meet the people, and this is set out so far in advance. I'm 2-3 hours into the day and no one showed, no one's called anything. Finally, I call them and get a hold of my account manager, and he's like, I don't know what's going on. Let me see if I can call the install company. And he calls them up, and lo and behold, another hour later, oh, we're on our way now. Sorry about the delay. Okay. As long as you can get it done. They come out, they do a partial install, leave the panels up on the roof without any of the like the monitoring equipment or any of the stuff that hooks into your meter, so you can actually tap into the grid and say, well, we can't finish this part today. We're going to have to come back. We're going to have to come back to get it done. And, I was obviously not happy, but I'm like, okay, probably just a few days. They set a date that they were supposed to return of October 1st, which was like another 2-3 weeks later. I was like, okay, whatever. We've waited 5 months. We can wait another few days. That morning, I got a cancellation notice that they weren't going to be able to make it, and that was going to have to be rescheduled. And I got that from my account manager, not from the install company. It was an email stating, I didn't know if you were aware, but they had to reschedule. You are now scheduled January 20th of 2022. And so I called him. I was like, this is ridiculous. You can't leave a partial install on top of my home with equipment sitting inside my garage. You didn't finish the job that I've already paid for. We paid the $1,000, and they destroyed my old roof, and now they've done a partial install, and I'm looking at not even having it completed into 2022. I started, kind of doing a little research about this and looking on the internet, and found out that my issue was it wasn't unique, that it seemed almost like more commonplace with Tesla's customer service. There's a lot of people that had similar experiences with their billing, with their wait times, with installation issues. And, Tesla's branding would lead you to believe that they're a technology-based company. They always have been. They're always one of the industry leaders when it comes to these things. But the actual service that they provide to the customer is, it's laughable. They have unbelievable technology and products, and the service that's associated with it is not anywhere near on that level. And, I don't want people to have the same experience that I had. There's many other products out there now, especially with the solar, that you have other options. And while the quality of the Tesla's product, the panels, that with their installation and, and I'm fairly confident they've outsourced all those things, but they're not doing any kind of quality control on the back end. if I went with a new company to install new panels, I could have it done in weeks, not, by the time this is all said and done, it's going to be 9-10 months. And like I said, I have a partial install sitting on top of my house right now. I mean, obviously I want the job completed to industry standards. I mean, that goes beside the point, but that's something I'm already paid for. So even if it's completed at this point, I will never feel satisfied with the experience that I've had with them. There's no way they'd make it right. You know what I mean? Like I'm already out the money. It's a service that hasn't been completed that should have been done months ago. I don't envision ever feeling good about their customer service ever again. Steer clear. Unfortunately, I would say there's a lot of other, especially with in their solar. I can't speak to their vehicles. I know. I mean, there is a lot more EVs out there now, and there are other options in the industry there. But with solar panels, there's a lot of different options out there, and every experience I've had with them has been poor. So I would definitely tell people to steer clear.